Hey guys, it's Zach, the Gulf Coast Gardener. Thanks for dropping by the garden today. I am really excited because we're going to be planting a fragrant low hedge to identify the border between this arbor and our gazebo. What plants will we be using for this beautiful fragrant hedge? And that is going to be the Buttons Gardenia. Now, the Buttons Gardenia is not like your typical gardenia. It stays much more compact, much more dense. And that's really evidence based on how these plants look. And I'll turn you around in just a second to show you. But most gardenias grow big and wide and are kind of wild, you know? But these stay much more compact and are a great boxwood alternative in your warmer climates, particularly zone 8 to 10, maybe 11, depending on where you place it. Now, for me, I find that my gardenias do really well in a partial sun, filtered sun location. Most of the time, gardenias are definitely marketed for a full sun area. You can see all that rain coming through. It's been raining nonstop, but I've been trying to get out here because I can't stay away from the garden. But yes, so where I'm planting them, they're going to receive about 3 hours of direct sun with about 8 hours of filtered light with only a solid block of about 2 hours of shade. So they should do pretty well considering I have 2 other gardenias that are planted in full shade and they still offer me flowers and fragrance. I don't do too much with my gardenias. I don't baby them too much. They do like to dry out between waterings, so I will only water them once a week if we have not gotten our rain that we typically get, which over the past month, that has not been a problem. Moving forward into year 2, year 3, they probably won't need any supplemental water at all from me. I plant them a little bit high, not too high, but maybe a half an inch above grade so that they do have that good drainage away from them. Really, the quickest way to kill a gardenia is by keeping it wet. And now with gardenias, you really don't want to prune them or shape them too often because they do typically bloom on old wood. Now, some varieties like the Buttons will throw some new blooms here and there on the new wood, but you won't get that solid mass of blooms like you do if you don't touch it. Okay, so let me turn you around and show you our plants that we're planting at a little bit more of a closer depth. Real quick, the way I'm spacing these is not to be a continuous hedge, but to be more of little balls that are going to line the walkway, giving it shape, but still allowing you to maneuver in and out through the lawn. So here is our button gardenia. You can see it is just a beautiful, small, dense, compact plant. It's just gonna be the perfect situation that we need to line this area. So my idea is to do a staggered hedge. So here is our arbor. 18 inches, we placed the first one. 42 inches, I placed the next one. Another 42 inches, the next one, and then 42 inches here. On the other side, where our garden gazebo is, 18 inches, 42, 42, 42. Now, in between this area is a little bit longer. I believe it's 34 inches, whereas this area is only 32 inches. So it kind of lines up, but it's just a little bit different. But this is a longer path because it is slightly curved. Now for my planting today, I'll be using the Power Planter Auger 5-inch, making a nice shallow hole, almost like a bowl. Once I put the root ball in, it's going to sit about a ½ inch above grade. In the bottom of the hole, I will sprinkle a healthy amount. I don't measure, I eyeball, measure with my heart. Some of the Rose Tone Biotone fertilizer. Now, Rose Tone has the Biotone formula, so you get that microbial benefit. But you might be saying, Zach, this isn't a rose. Why are you using Rose Tone? Why aren't you using Holly Tone or something marketed for gardenias? Well, luckily where I live, my soil pH is 5.5, so I don't have to worry about acidifying my soil. And as long as it's a woody shrub that flowers, you can use Rose Tone. You can use Rose Tone on gardenias. You can use Rose Tone on hydrangeas. Don't think about it too hard. Just apply something, because something is better than nothing. So I was thinking about it a little bit. One thing I need to do is push these back about a foot. They were already about 6 inches from the border, so I want to push them out just a little bit further. These on this side should be okay because there were cinder blocks there originally, being a natural spacer. Holes dug. Now to add rose tone. Ooh, the smell of success. Now time for the planting. Beautiful roots. Tease those up a little bit. They're a little root bound. See how dry it is in there? Hey, like a glove. So I'm just taking a stick now and scoring because I was using my fingernails and I got cut. Now time to water these puppies in. As I'm watering these in, you can see the water is running away from the plant. That is exactly what I want. It does not want to sit in water. It just wants water to run right past it and it absorbs what it wants. See, running away from it perfectly. Now, while I was watering in, if I notice that the water isn't running away like I want it to, this would be the perfect time to go ahead and adjust that. Perfect again, exactly what we want. You see what I mean about these button gardenias just being the perfect boxwood replacement? They still offer the beautiful fragrance, the beautiful white flowers that have a button eye, kind of like our English roses, but yet they're not a boxwood, they are a gardenia. So I expect these plants to get about twice this current size. I do want to keep them in a nice sphere shape. So every year after they're done with their main flowering, I will come in and shape them. I will not do it in the spring. I will do it after the first flowering, which for me will be around mid-May. You can see this one has 3 blooms coming up on him, or her. Good, we're running away from the crown. They're a little heavy right there. Really lucked out using the 5-inch auger because it allowed me to make all these holes very uniform since these pots are all very uniform, making the planting much easier. Okay, yep, it's coming out the sides. Good, good, good. It's not pulling out the roots. It's not what we want. Now I will not water these again until we don't have at least an inch of rain in a week, which for Mobile will be rare. So here we are with that final hedge, spaced 42 inches from each other and 18 inches from the structure with an odd amount on the opposite ends. This is an inverse measurement, so from different angles, they look symmetrical. However, when you're walking down, they're a bit opposite of each other. So if you see right here, that they're all spaced appropriately. Cool, cool, cool. Go to the other side, great. All right, gardening friends. Right in front of me is our swimming pool. Right behind me is a garden bed with a hedge of phantom hydrangeas. And we're going to be planting a beautiful variegated Alstroemeria, or Peruvian lily. What attracted me to this plant was its beautiful variegated foliage and the fact that it was on clearance. I've had it sitting here for a little bit and she's blooming, so that's telling me that she's happy. She's not wilting, she's looking good. So let me turn you around and show you the plant and where I'm wanting to place her. So here we are with the Colorita Katiana Peruvian lily. So this beautiful plant gets about 12 inches high and 24 inches wide. Right here is our Salvia Olmsted that we recently planted, as well as our white salvia. Right here in the center is where I want to pop this beautiful variegated foliage to kind of give that much needed color pop in this bed. You can see our quarter lines there. That's also offering that little bit of a variegation. I think they'll play off of each other really well. Now I am opting to use a shovel instead of my power planter so that I don't sling dirt everywhere. Beautiful root system on that plant. Now for this particular planting, rose tone is not ideal, but it is better than nothing. A little bit high. There we go. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for dropping by the garden today. I hope you got inspired. I hope maybe you learned something. And I hope I see you out there in your garden planting something beautiful. Again, thanks for dropping by, and we'll see you in the next one.